Yeah, you know, Patty, it is so funny because we are such hard workers, and there is so much expertise between the two of us. It is just amazing how wonderful it is to be able to put on a master class specifically to help people find their voice and transform into the person they want to be.
Really, women in the business place, the marketplace, are they really getting the promotions that they want? Are they really rising to the top of their game? Because if it's so, the statistics are not yet showing it. They're still showing that women are lagging behind in leadership positions, that women are still choosing to be silent when they need to speak up. They need to stand out. They need to believe in their voice.
So we're not getting
Yes.
closer. We're getting further apart as far as being paid equally for what we're doing. So I think, to answer that question, are they really getting promoted? Are they actually being heard when they speak in these meetings? And my conclusion is no, they're not. And I think they worry about, well, how do I overcome this? How do I actually get recognized?
And that's also, I think we're dealing still with that age old, what will people think if I say this? What if I get it wrong? What if I make a fool of myself? What if they interrupt me? What if, what if, what if? But what if you stood up, spoke out, and were actually heard and seen? My work with women, particularly in the last 3 years here in the Middle East, tells me that when women stand up, when they speak up, when they stand up, when they use their voice, they are in fact being heard, they are being seen, and they are being promoted too. So the proof is in the pudding, as we say, that when women take the training, when they find that courage and that bravery, and it's not really ever about the money. When I was young, I thought, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, but I always found the money. And I'm glad I did, because once you take the training and once you commit to investing in yourself and promoting yourself in this business world, you rise to the top. So
I think, when I talk to individuals that come to me for one-to-one coaching, and the women in particular, they are coming because they're stuck. I mean, those are the words that they use with me. I'm stuck, Teresa. I don't know how to overcome this. I have gone for job interviews, I've gone for promotions, and I always seem to fall that little bit below the other candidates or the other applicants for that particular role. And I can't figure out what's going on. And then as soon as we start working together, and I know you probably experienced this as well, as soon as we uncover those little hurdles that are in the way and we get rid of them, we get rid of the blockages, the inner work that needs to happen, the belief in who they are and what they can bring to the table. And actually, they don't even need to bring it to the table. They need to bring the table, because there are so many people that think, well, I just want to have a chair at the table. No, you want to be the table. You want to be the person that is allowing other people to be at that table with you. And that's what is so powerful about what you and I do. We were talking, what would it cost somebody? What would they have to invest to spend 2 hours with us? And, we did our figures, we did our little calculations, and it's actually $5,000 to work with us individually. For 2 hours would cost somebody $5,000. And, what we want to do in this masterclass, because it's definitely not a webinar where we do a little bit and then we pitch you this really big course. We want our women and individuals out there to actually take away those really key tips and techniques they can use right now, so that they're absolutely able to speak up, stand out, and transform their voice. And those 2 hours is only an investment of 47 pounds. We got dollars, we got pounds, we got Duran, we've got Rand, we've got all of the different currencies in our world. But at the end of the day, 47, whatever it is a minuscule amount of currency that you can put forward to your personal growth, your ability to be understood as an individual, to not be talked over, and to actually be recognized for the expertise you're bringing to the table. It's not that big, is it?
You know, just last week, didn't I buy myself a lovely pair of boots that cost a lot more than 47 pounds? But you know, you said something a moment ago, you said uncover. It's to uncover these skills. It's not like we want people to go out into this great discovery of who they are. You're not lost. Every one of us has these skills within. You know, remember I used to say leadership is an inside job. Empowerment is an inside job. But we need people to help us along. You've had coaches. I've had coaches since I was 10, and that was 60 years ago, and I still have coaches. So it's really about digging deep. What are you worth? Not what does everybody outside say, what are you worth? What are you worth? And yes, women in the corporate world, but entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs who have nobody, maybe a small team, but a woman, an entrepreneur is the whole C-suite all in one, right? They're the CFO, the CEO, the COO. Yeah, you might hire people, but at the end of the day, at 3 o'clock in the morning, the entrepreneur is the one that has to deal with all of the worries. These things can disempower us. These fears of not having enough, not being enough, really take away our power. But when they work with women like you and me, women of value, women who are very passionate, and women of substance, it's so easy to uncover these skills, to get rid of that fear, that global pandemic that faces women of I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I'm not smart enough. Whatever the not enough is, this is something that we keep telling ourselves, and it's holding us back. So women entrepreneurs, women in business, women wherever you are, women with a dream, what's holding you back? It's a fear, I think, based on my own experience. As you know, I was a single disabled mom with big, big dreams. Nobody would even loan me money to buy a computer because you're disabled and you'll never be able to pay it back. By the grace of the great heavens, I had something in me that said, I don't accept that. And I was terrified. And I know you know this too, because of our own stories. We do not come from the ruling classes. We were not born with silver spoons. And I really don't want people to think that you and I are just so great and so cool. No, but if you and I can do it, anybody can do it, because we had things going against us and we had something inside that said, I don't accept that. Doctors told me for years, you'll never work. And I just couldn't accept it. And here I am at this age, working, enjoying life, living an international life.
And it doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter what you've had to overcome. What matters is that you recognize those learnings. And that's one of the things, you know, that Paddy and I actually love helping you uncover, is the learnings that you are really able to express after being, you know, coached with us. You know, I remember when Paddy was coaching me, the very first meeting that we met, she asked me one question, you know, and Paddy, I mean, remind me, the question was about who stole your voice?
That was the question.
And the tears just started to flow. And it was because I knew who had stolen it. But I'd never talked about it. And until we start to talk about the challenges that we're facing, that we've gone through, and how we've come out the other side, it's really difficult to move forward. So we have been through our trials and tribulations and our turmoil, but we've done something about it. And that's what we want you guys to do. We want you to do something about where you are and why you're stuck. And this particular masterclass is the tip of the iceberg for you to start putting into practice some of the tools and techniques that we will give you in those 2 hours that you'll spend with us.
So I just want to throw down the challenge. Love yourself. Give yourself the very best chance you can to rise to the top, to succeed, to be what you were born to be. Les Brown begins every speech with, you were born with greatness in you. You were. This isn't some little speech that he gives, it's a fact. Find your heart and soul, find your dream. And if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not really a dream. Your dream should make you scared, should make you shake, should make you say, oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to do that. That's where Teresa and I were. That's where all dreamers are, until we harness our deep love for ourselves, our respect, our courage, our bravery. When I said to Teresa, who stole your voice? And she started to cry, that was the moment her bravery came knocking.
Yeah.
And that was the day she became the speaker and woman who she is today. She was great before, but there was something holding her back. We're all held that way. Things can change immediately, and we're here to help you do that.
Yeah. And I love that you brought in the dream, because Martin Luther King Jr. is probably one of my most valued speakers, I think, in this world. And the speech that he delivered way back in the 60s is still resonating through my mind. We all have a dream, and we have a dream that if we do not take action will never come to fruition. So whether it's that dream of being that executive, the dream of starting your own company, the dream of actually being recognized when you stand up and say something in a meeting, this is what we want to help you achieve. But for every Wednesday through October and November, you have the chance to invest in yourself and take away tips and skills that will help you live your dream.
We want you to understand that we value you. And I always say this, the world is waiting for women to come to the table, to be the table. You can come to the table all you want, but if you don't know who you are and what you have to say, you might as well just not come to the table. You might as well just stay at home. You have something, you do have greatness in you. Marianne Williamson said in her book, A Woman's Worth, that we are made to make manifest the glory of the Creator. Let me repeat that. We were born to make manifest the glory of the Creator. You have been given life to reach your greatness and to show others how to reach theirs. I get goosebumps. I just love this so much.
We could talk forever. And, I mean, and that might be one of our master classes where we just open up the floor and we let people ask questions, because that's what we're doing. We're building a community of women not afraid to speak up, stand out. So I don't know. We can go on forever, Patty. What do you think? Should we close?
We can't go on forever. Well, I like the idea of let's one of these sessions just have a master class. It's a great discussion of women. All of us talking our hopes, our fears, our expectations, our dreams. When we fall down, how do we get back up? Maybe because I think when we come together as women and share our stories, we're both storytellers.
Mm-hmm.
The world is made of stories. And when we share our stories, we find our bravery, we find our courage, and we find each other, and we find community. It's so important.
Here's our community. Here's to our community.
Here's to our community. Cheers.
Cheers.
To the women.